Hi, fourth graders. It seems like you all have this worksheet today from the story Cliffhanger about character, plot, and theme. And so we should read the directions here at the top and the information before we read the story. Characters are the people and animals in a story. The plot is the storyline or series of events that show the characters in action. A plot begins when a character has a problem or conflict. The problem builds up during the rising action and is met directly at the climax and comes to an end with the action winding down during the resolution. The theme is the big idea of the story. The directions say, read the following passage, then answer the questions below. So now I'll need to read this to be able to answer the questions. The snow was just beginning when Marta skied down the slope for the last time that afternoon. Halfway down, she glimpsed something yellow in the woods. I hurt my ankle, the man in a yellow parka said when Marta skied closer to him. Marta knew the snow would be increasing. Can you stand on your other leg? She asked. The man stood up. Yes, I can, he said. Marta removed the ski from his injured foot and strapped it to her back with a rope. Then she slung his arm around her and told him to lean on her. She skied slowly down the mountain, taking the injured man along with her. Although Marta had to cut short her skiing, she knew she would feel happier about having helped the injured skier. And so now we can go to the questions because we read the passage. Number 1, who are the characters in the story? Well, if I can't remember what characters means, I can look back at the top and it says characters are the people and animals in the story. There were no animals in the story, but there were people. So we'll type the characters in the story are, because I need to restate the question always, Marta and the injured man. They never told us the name of the injured man. They just called him the injured man. All right. Number 2, what is the main problem that Marta encounters? So, what is there are a few problems. She doesn't get to finish her skiing trip, and there's a bad storm coming in because she knows that the snow is going to get worse. But the main problem is that she finds a man that has hurt his ankle. So the main problem is that Marta finds an injured man while she is skiing. And if it's a little bit doesn't fit, you can always pull that middle box there, the middle square out, and it'll make it a little bit longer. Remember capitals and periods in your sentences as well. Number 3, does the climax take place in the 5th paragraph? How do you know? And so let's figure out which is the 5th paragraph. So here's paragraph 1, and then the indent would be 2, 3, 4. So here's paragraph 5. And it says, does the climax happen in the 5th paragraph? So I look up here for climax and it says the plot begins when a character has a problem or a conflict. The problem builds up during the rise in action and is met directly at the climax and comes to an end, with the action winding down during the resolution. And so when it says, does the climax take place in the 5th paragraph? I would say yes, because it says, can you stand on your other leg? And that's, she asked, and it says the man stood up. Yes, I can. So before we read to the next part, we were all hoping, I hope he can stand up, because if he couldn't stand up, she wouldn't have been able to help him down the mountain. All right, does the climax take place in the 5th paragraph? Yes. In the 5th paragraph, we find out that a man can stand on his other leg. This is right after a rising action, or what do they call it? Or conflict. I'll just say this is right after the rising action period. And so again, it's a little bit not in the box. You can always pull it to make it bigger so um, it fits better. You can always pull it that way too. And I know it's a little tough, but I promise you, your teachers are really good at reading this stuff. All right, number 4, what is the resolution of the story? And so when we come back up and it tells me the resolution, that's when we wind down during the climax. And so let's erase some of this. We know that the climax is here, so the resolution has to be after it. So it says, the man stood up. Yes, I can, he said. Marta removed the ski from his injured foot and strapped it to her back with a rope. Then she slung his arm around her and told him to lean on her. She skied slowly down the mountain, taking the injured man along with her. So the resolution of the story, how are they solving the problem? The resolution of the story happens when Marta skis. I'm not sure how to spell that. When Marta, let's see if it's up here. When Marta skied slowly down the mountain with the injured man. There we go. And I'll pull this out here. And I'll pull this out here so I can make it a little bigger. All right. And number 5, what is the theme or the big idea of the story? And so that usually happens right at the end. So I'll finish that last paragraph. Although Marta had to cut short her skiing, she knew she would feel happier about having helped the injured skier. And so the theme or the big idea, we're realizing that Marta knows she feels happier helping other people. And that helping other people can bring her happiness. The theme of the story is helping other people can bring you happiness. And so even though she didn't get to finish her skiing trip, and it was her last trip down the mountain, she felt happy because she was able to help the injured man. All right, good luck.